Hey guys, what's up? Welcome to the channel. My name is Tony. This is the 15-Minute Gamer, and today we're here to review Humankind. So what is Humankind? Well, it's Civilization basically. So if you've played that, you know what you're getting into. Humankind is Amplitude Studios' magnum opus, a historical strategy game where you will rewrite the entire narrative of humankind, a convergence of cultural history and values that allow you to create a civilization that is as unique as you are. How far will you push humankind? But before we start, don't forget to hit that subscribe button, tap the notification bell, smash the like button, and comment below to let me know what you think. Right, let's get on with it. French developer Amplitude Studios is no newcomer to the strategy genre. It has developed in the past Endless Space, Endless Dungeon, and Endless Legend. I'm not sure why I decided to get rid of the Endless, but never mind, which I've all played and quite enjoyed. However, past titles were complex strategy games. They were different and unique to other 4Xs, but I found Humankind to not really have that real different approach to set it aside from the competition. Just looking at the screenshots and stuff, I was like, I think I've seen this all before. And when you go up against such a big game like Civilization, and to be fair, as I said, looking almost exactly the same, you have to bring something new to the table to say, hey, I might look the same, but I'm better, I'm different. And the question is, does Humankind do this? And since it's so similar, its main objective now is to be better than Civilization. And does it do that? Well, let's find out. So all this talk about strategy 4X games, for those who don't know what I'm on about, they may seem complicated, but they're surprisingly straightforward once you kind of get past the initial look of them. They usually take place on some sort of procedurally generated world. You start off in control of a small group of hunter-gatherers. You can see a few hexes, the rest are fogged out, and as you explore, you'll uncover more of the terrain and in the process new resources to exploit, and sooner or later rival civilizations to trade with, or in my case, usually kill. The game, including the combat, is turn-based, so you have a certain amount of action points per unit, and once you're out of movement points or units to move, that's it, you end your turn and the AI has their turn. This is how 4X games tend to work, but in Humankind they have tried something a little bit different where they've made the combat turn-based as well, and yeah, it's pretty goddamn awful. I auto-resolved every time. I was expecting way more from the combat here when I saw that it was like kind of turn-based, but I just don't think it works. The battle system is a little more involved in Civilization, of course, because of this. It uses like a zoomed-in tactical view, and that factors in stuff like terrain, so you take the high ground for more advantage, for example, but it's just all rather meh. It's not fun, and I just didn't enjoy it. So like me, I have a feeling most people will be quickly reaching for that auto resolve button. On top of this, the AI isn't very good. There's loads of times where it could have beaten me because I've made a mistake and it just went meh and I just rolled it over. And also on a strategic level, so kind of top level, the computer is quite pacifist. Like, it tended to attack, but maybe not that much. And usually I could then just do a counterattack and kill them. If you're anything like me, you will have started far more games of Civilization than you finished, because I just like the beginning bit. I like the exploring bit and working out where I'm going to put my city and what kind of person I'm going to be. What kind of leader? Am I going to trade my way to glory, or am I just going to kill everyone? Am I going to put defensive structures on and units to defend my territory? And that's the bit I like. And it's nice to see that Humankind has kind of went for that, okay, well, we're going to expand the beginning bit a bit more. So the beginning bit was quite fun. I mean, once you get bigger, I think the games usually just turn into endless negotiations, and you kind of just keep pressing that next turn to do the next bit of research. Obviously, things do get a lot more complicated once you've expanded into a fair-sized empire. There's a lot of micromanagement, but Humankind does well at letting you sort of like micromanage as much as you want or as much as you don't want to do, which again, always nice to see. You are a little limited in terms of managing multiple cities at once, but you get to focus more on influence and stability rather than happiness, which I think makes a lot more sense. Cities can be merged with outposts, so you can like send your settlers out, put an outpost and merge it with a city. But you got to be very careful here, because the more outposts attached to a city, it means less stability, but it means they share resources, they share structures and that sort of thing. Again, really like that. The amount of influence you hold is the key to the game's diplomacy system, which I do think holds up, again, a little bit better than Civ. Influence can include religion. However, as the norm seems to be in games now, without going very political or anything, it's very non-specific here, and it just feels very unrealistic compared to the amount of religion we have in the real world. You start off Humankind in the Stone Age, and you kind of follow a civilization. So you pick one to start off with. Each come with certain bonuses, certain buffs, and certain negatives. In Humankind, your society evolves over time. It's influenced at 6 major milestones by one of several real-world civilizations, and you can change. So I kind of went from Egyptian and then got to the industrial era and then became British, and like all my buildings turned into British buildings. And also my avatar changed its clothes to like British, which I thought was a nice touch. Talking about the avatar very quickly before we continue, it is fully customizable. So you don't just pick a leader of a country. You can make it kind of look very silly, very stupid, or kind of like you. And there's loads of options here. The way the progression works is a more realistic way of handling things, I think, because you're kind of going through the eras and you can change. But it's rather simplistic. You basically just pick a new base culture for each era, gaining like units and technologies that would otherwise be unavailable. However, these cultural choices aren't related to anything that's going on in the rest of the game. Yeah, you can't pick one that another civilization is, but that's it. You literally just picking options from a list of eras, and there didn't seem to be much of a backlash or issue every time I changed. To progress, you earn era stars, and you get these by completing certain things in game, like objectives, like killing 5 armies, or expanding, or having so many cities. Once you get enough stars, you can then progress to the next era. Graphically, the game, yeah, might look a little bit simplistic. These 4X games tend to do. They look decent, and for the scale, obviously your armies are massive, so you can see where they are. But when you zoom in, there's like little tiny zebras running around if you're in Africa. I thought that was really cool. And when you explore, the terrain kind of like comes up from the ground. I like that. And the cities and districts looked pretty good too. The diplomacy is definitely better in Humankind, and the evolution of your culture is interesting. There's also a few other new things. But ultimately, most of the game's other advantages are kind of like what I'd expect from the next civilization, you know, that fan feedback. Not a completely different game. And almost like a fan just made a mod for Civ and went, okay, I'm going to have that and that and that. And that is just a bit disappointing. This is a brand new game, a new IP potentially. And I think it just needed to do something different and bring something different to the table. However, it did hit that one more turn mentality perfectly. I was clicking for ages, and it's just one of these things 4Xs do great. I don't think the Civ developers will be losing any sleep over Humankind, but if you've got a 4X itch and you want something new to play, just give it a go. Anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. See you on the next one. Goodbye.